News coming in. Sources are telling India today the drone images being shown do not belong to India. Sources also said the drone was being operated by Pak agencies and they blamed India after the crash to avoid embarrassment. This is a huge breakthrough and could lead to embarrassment for the Pakistani side. Indian intelligence sources now saying that the drone that was shot down by Pak agencies actually was being operated by Pakistan itself. Remember, Pakistan has blamed India for carrying out surveillance along the border with that drone. Kamaljeet Sandhu is with us on the phone line. Kamaljeet, the blame game continues.
Well, Cinema, definitely so. We've seen 2 drone crashes really happening in Pakistan. Our sources believe that this is an embarrassment to the Pakistani agencies, and in that, just to avoid that, they are blaming the Indian agencies for this kind of drone crash there. But definitely, what we've been told by our sources was very clear. One, the crash was heard by the BOP Ballar. This one is on the 3rd of July. The other crash was well inside Pakistan. Sources also say that this is not the stealth UAV that Pakistan is claiming it to be. This obviously seems to be of Chinese make. So whatever Pakistan is claiming at this point of time seem to be false. This is not a stealth phone. This is not owned by India. But this is obviously a game of claims and counter claims. So obviously, even as there is a ceasefire violation happening very well, both over the line of control and international border, we've only seen things escalating and a blame game at this point of time on. Pakistan obviously wants to rub it in, blaming India for having ceasefire violations, blaming it to send and escalate tensions by sending in the UAVs. This is a claim which has definitely been denied by the Indian agencies and Indian authorities. But at this point of time, it's a matter of claim and a counterclaim.
Absolutely. And Kamaljeet, what are the concerns that the presence of these drones raise along the border? Obviously, aerial surveillance is going to be a huge threat for both sides.
Well, yes, we've always known that on the line of control on the border areas, the international border, this is simply unacceptable. Most on the international agreements also between 2 countries, drones and UAVs, and especially spying of this kind, especially on the airspace, is simply not allowed. So this is a certain violation, and that is why Pakistan is now wanting to blame the Indian agencies. But remember, after the India-Pakistan talks, where there seemed to be some sort of progress, we've only seen border tensions escalating. We've also seen that during January, February, we saw a month-long ceasefire violations. And now with this tensions increasing again, with the talks of the NSA and the BSF and Pakistani Rangers expected in September sometime, we know the tensions are now really escalating. So perhaps a sign by Pakistan that they don't want the talks to really happen. India, on the other hand, doesn't want to make any sort of statement,
right.
but they've been denying these charges of sending any sort of drones. They're saying simply, one, the make is not of any sort of a UAV, a stealth UAV. This is obviously seem to be of a Chinese make. The third, they're saying just to avoid the embarrassment of blaming India, they don't want to take any sort of blame, and that is why they're trying to rub that particular blame on India.
Absolutely. So tension basically continues on the ground between the 2 countries. Kamaljeet, stay on with us. It's not even been a week since India and Pakistan promised peace on the sidelines of a summit in Russia, but relations have quickly deteriorated. The handshake between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Nawaz Sharif, which heralded hopes of a new start between the 2 nations, seems as distant as the prospects of peaceful borders. Everything from provocative statements by Pakistani leaders to deadly ceasefire violations have punctuated these few days since the handshake. Sanket Upadhyay gets us the 5 top betrayals by Pakistan.
So let's take a look at betrayal number 1. Pakistan's post-UFA betrayals. First the promise, then the betrayal. I mean, raising doubt whether we should have actually taken their promise very seriously. 3 major ceasefire violations have taken place in Jammu and Kashmir. 1 kill, several have been injured. 1 kill includes a civilian. Betrayal number 2, at least 3 infiltration bids, 4 militants have been killed. The one happened this morning in the wee hours. Betrayal number 3, let's put that on the screen right now. Okay, betrayal number 3. Pakistan claims shooting down an Indian drone bid to derail peace, because India has very clearly come out and said that the drone never belonged to India. Let's take a look at betrayal point number 4. Sartaj Aziz and his tough talk just a day after those promises that were made. He said no talks if Kashmir is not discussed. And betrayal number 5, Pakistan's U-turn on Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi's voice samples, where Sartaj Aziz said that conclusive proof has to be given by India, and till then Pakistan can actually do nothing. So each day after UFA in Russia, of that grandstanding that Pakistan actually did, you have betrayal after betrayal on all the points, or all the bonhomie that one actually saw.
Right, 5 major points on which Pakistan has backed out since that handshake between Nawaz Sharif and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Kamaljeet Sandhu is with us live from the national capital. Kamaljeet, is there a sense on the ground that probably that handshake was merely a photo op?
Well, yes, it seems so, and we've seen that Pakistan making that U-turn time and again, whether it is on Hafiz Saeed, whether it is on Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi, even on the voice samples, we've seen Pakistan make that U-turn. But yes, experts and hopefuls are saying that Pakistan may actually toe that particular line. But at this point of time, what we're seeing on the working boundary, as Pakistan really claims it to be, the international border and the LOC, the sort of ceasefire violations we've seen escalation of tension, we've seen militancy really going up, and the past 2 years we've seen that numbers really going down. But yes, in the beginning of this year, with the change of government, with Modi government really coming in a tough posture, we've only seen escalation of tensions, especially their target changing from Kashmir to Jammu boundary. And now we've talked about how Pakistan is claiming that drones, at least 2 of them by India, have managed to sneak inside and obviously shot down by the Pakistani forces, a claim which India is definitely denying. So one, they're saying that this is not a stealth drone at all. The other is, it seems to be and suspected to be a Chinese make. The third is, obviously, they want to blame Indian forces. This is a Pakistani bid, basically to suggest that perhaps if the talks go on, this is something Pakistan doesn't seem to want. They've obviously raised concerns earlier also, saying nothing much has been done on Samjhauta blast. But as far as 2611 is concerned, they've really not done much. But yes, this only means the photographic evidence, and their talk only means that they want to blame India at this point of time.
Actually, the question that all strategic experts are asking at this stage, have relations between India and Pakistan taken a turn for the worse after that photo op? Kamalji, thanks so much for that update. We're going to keep coming back to you for more. Now, talking tough on the spate of recent ceasefire violations, India has asserted that it is disappointed at the continuous violations by the Pakistani army. The matter has been taken up with the Pakistan High Commissioner. Ever since the lofty promises made during the UFA meet, Pakistan has indulged in several provocations. Just this morning, the army foiled an infiltration bid along the line of control in Poonch sector. Defense sources say that army soldiers noticed movement of 3 to 4 terrorists near Pakistani jungle post. Defense sources are telling India today that Pakistani Rangers were providing cover fire for the terrorists. Pakistani Rangers violated the ceasefire agreement in Pura sector along the international border in Jammu, where they targeted 3 BSF posts. 3 villages were injured during firing. On Wednesday, one civilian had been killed and 3 BSF Jawans were injured after Pakistani troops opened unprovoked fire along the international border in Jammu. Let's get now from Shuja Haq, who's with us live from Srinagar this morning. Shuja, you heard what Manish Tiwari there was saying, that it seems that the Pakistani military has vetoed this agreement of sorts that was reached between the governments of India and Pakistan. Would you say that there has been an escalation of ceasefire violations ever since that handshake in UFA?
Well, that's right. That's how it looks like at this point of time. You know, in last 48 hours, there have been at least 3 ceasefire violations that have happened on either international border or line of control. One civilian has already lost her life, and there have been several others who have been injured, including a BSF Jawan as well. So clearly, the escalation on the line of control or international border in Jammu area has escalated from past couple of days, and there is a view among the security experts that it could be because of the fact that that statement was made in UFA, but there is no direct correlation so far.
Absolutely.
Having said that, many do believe that escalation of line of control and international border is something that keeps on happening, and India and Pakistan have found out a way of dealing with them by either talking to each other or showing aggression from both sides. So it keeps on continuing, but coming at this point of time, it is definitely raising more eyebrows than one.
Shuja, thanks so much for that.